Come forward and be sworn.
We take a seat, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony about the state spell your first and last name for the record.
Shannon Lee, SHANNON.
All right, thank you. Go ahead. You may inquire.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you? Doing just fine. Thank you for asking. Ma'am, how are you employed?
I'm a general manager of the 8th Street Law.
And were you employed in the same capacity back in January of this year?
Yes.
Specifically on January 3rd through 5th, were you employed in that capacity?
Yes.
Can you describe to the court what your responsibilities are as general manager of that U-Haul?
I run the store, so I do everything. Customer service, I rent trucks, I rent trailers, I dispense propane, I make our dishes, wiring, and also.
Okay. And does your store keep records of who rents vehicles from you?
Yes.
And are those kept in the ordinary course of business?
It's online.
What are those records that you make for your business purposes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. If you saw some of those records, would you be able to recognize them?
Yes.
Showing defense counsel's remark as People's Proposed Exhibit 5. May I approach the witness?
May.
Ma'am, I'm handing you what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 5 as well as the court. Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Can
A return receipt for the man.
Okay. And is this the type of record that your business creates? And is it a fair and accurate representation of that record?
Yes.
People would move to admit what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 5 into evidence.
Your Honor, I'm going to object until I have an opportunity to cross-examine.
All right. Anybody else have anybody or objection to this?
No, thank you. No, thank you,
Your Honor.
All right. I will withhold my ruling on its admissibility pending cross-examination.
Okay.
But go ahead. You may inquire. You may ask about it.
Thank you. So, ma'am, looking at this document, does it display when this document was created?
Yes.
When was that?
3/25.
All right. And is that 7:50 p.m. where it says rental date and time? Is that what we're reading from? Okay. And is that the time then that the vehicle was checked out, or what does that time mean?
Checked out.
Okay. And does this document determine, or does it say who checked that vehicle out?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. This document is a hearsay document. Just like with the documents we had before on the tether, it may have a name on it, but that doesn't tell you who checked it out. Unless she's going to say she's the one that actually created this document and handled the transaction.
Well, why wouldn't this fit into the hearsay exception?
It may fit into the hearsay exception, Your Honor. I don't agree, but it may. But it's still, then it's not relevant because it doesn't tie to any of the defendants in this case. It's a piece of paper with a name on it. How do we know that the name on there, how that name got there?
But does that would really go to the weight to be given as opposed to its admissibility?
Well, I think on
Her testimony.
401, it goes to admissibility, Judge. It's not relevant. Unless they can tie it to one of these defendants.
I think that's what Mr. Cook is intending about doing. I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead, you can continue.
Thank you. So I believe the question that was asked was, does this document tell you who checked the vehicle out?
Yes.
And who checked this vehicle out?
Christy College.
And is that the name listed under customer name?
Yes.
And when you rent a vehicle out to an individual, what information do you get from them for your records so that way you know you have the right person?
Name, address, the driver's license. You have to scan it.
So you have to scan their actual driver's license in order to rent a vehicle out to them? And the address to which...
I'm going to object to that. That's leading.
What's leading?
He says that their actual driver's license. That's assuming a fact which is not in evidence. It's leading. She can say that they were supposed to produce a driver's license. How can she say whose driver's license it is unless she's the one that handled the transaction? She can say what's supposed to happen, but she can't say what actually happened in this particular case.
Well, those would be two different objections. One I would overrule, one I may sustain, just in terms of the form of the question.
I can read.
When you get a driver's license from the individual who's checking it out, what do you do with that driver's license?
Of course, we make sure that it's the actual person in front of us, the picture.
So how do you do that? You look at them and you look at the picture, right? Okay, then what do you do?
And then we get the current address or the moving to address, and then the next screen is the scan.
Okay, when you say you scan it, what type of scanning is that?
It's just uploading it to the contract.
So what are you uploading? The actual driver's license? A picture of the driver's license? Okay, so it's not like, I think, when I am buying allergy medicine. It's not where you're scanning the barcode on the back. You're actually taking the physical license, scanning it, and then that scan goes where?
To the contract. So in our system.
Okay, so let me ask you this. This document here, is there more to this document?
This is the return receipt. So there's an in and then there's an out.
Gotcha.
It shows in. So there's an out receipt, which would be when they first come in.
Say that again to me.
This is the in receipt, and then there's an out. So the out would be when they first come in and rent the vehicle, and then the in would be when they return.
Okay, so this is the in receipt.
The return, yes. Yep.
So there is an out receipt or an out set of documents.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I know GPS better than I know. That document, the other document, is the one that would have the scan of the license.
So it wouldn't show on their paperwork or anything. It would be in our system.
It would be in your system.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has access to those documents?
Whoever works for you.
Oh, by your jacket, that's you, right? Okay, so just so that I'm clear, you could get a copy of that document, which would show the license that was scanned and have some type of image of that. Thank you. So do we have that?
I don't believe that was turned over to our office. I was unaware that document existed.
What?
I have the return receipt. I don't believe that we received the other receipt. I can confirm with the OIC, but that's my understanding.
Okay, so then it gets to Mr. Goldstein's point. This document is backwards to me. This is which one? This is the
return.
Oh, that's good. I'll do it that way. The out one and the return. All right. This is the return.
Correct.
But, and ma'am, correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't have to show ID if I'm returning it. No, I just give you back your vehicle. Anybody can return it. The one that would tell me who really had the vehicle and did whatever, that would be in the first document. And that document's not here.
May I ask the witness a few more questions? Because I think I'm a little confused as far as, because my understanding was under the customer name, Christy Couch, with the address. That reflects the information that they get from that scan of the driver's license.
Right, but I hear what you're saying, Mr. Cook. But if there's a document that would show who did it, who actually, wouldn't that be the best thing for me to have?
I would agree that would be more helpful to the court. Yes.
More helpful?
Yes.
And being better than zero. Ma'am, if I were to ask you, how long would it take you to access the out document, the initial one? How soon could you have that?
It wouldn't take long if I could print it here.
Oh, I'll give you a printer. I will wheel a printer out here if you could do that. All right. So I think that can probably be done in the prosecutor's office. They'll be more than happy to accommodate you. And while they do that, so that Mr. Goldstein's objections can be answered, the court's going to stand.
Closing today's hearing, Judge Stephanie Boyd demonstrated a composed and balanced approach, combining firmness with patience to effectively manage the proceedings. Her handling was fair and professional, ensuring that all participants clearly understood the importance of the testimony and evidence presented. Judge Boyd's steady demeanor fostered a respectful and orderly courtroom environment, essential for the proper administration of justice. Her leadership ensured the session remained focused on fact-finding while upholding procedural fairness. The defendant, while present, was less directly involved in this segment as the focus centered on witness testimony and documentary evidence. Shane Lee, the general manager of the U-Haul rental location, provided clear and credible testimony about the business's record-keeping practices. She explained how rental records, including scanned copies of driver's licenses, are maintained and accessed in the ordinary course of business. Her identification of the return receipt as a fair and accurate record added important context. Although the absence of some documentation raised valid procedural questions, her testimony was delivered calmly and professionally, aiding the court's understanding. The attorneys demonstrated thorough preparation and professionalism. Both prosecution and defense engaged in respectful questioning and timely objections. The prosecution sought to admit business records as evidence, while the defense raised legitimate concerns about hearsay and relevance, emphasizing the need to establish a clear connection to the defendant. Judge Boyd managed these exchanges with patience and clarity, maintaining courtroom order and ensuring fairness. Throughout the hearing, the courtroom atmosphere remained calm, respectful, and well-controlled. No disruptions or heightened tensions were observed, reflecting the professionalism of all parties involved and the effective oversight by Judge Boyd. Such an environment is crucial to ensuring that justice is administered thoughtfully and fairly. In summary, today's hearing illustrated a judicial process grounded in fairness, respect, and procedural clarity. Judge Stephanie Boyd's steady and patient guidance created an environment conducive to careful examination of evidence and truthful testimony. The credible and composed witness testimony, combined with competent advocacy from the attorneys, supported the court's mission to assess the facts thoroughly. For viewers, this session underscores the importance of preparation, professionalism, and respect within courtroom proceedings. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, and leaving your thoughts below. Your engagement helps support ongoing educational content that promotes transparency and understanding of legal proceedings. Thank you for watching. *1/2